Attack on Titan Chapter 110, you now have Eren fully unleashed. So what's up guys, Foxen here. This being a juicy chapter would be an understatement. And Chapter 110 wasn't Attack on Titan supposed to be ending around this time. Anyway, the WarHammer founding Attack Titan has been unleashed, abs included. Hide your Titans, hide your Ackermans, hide your blonde queen, cause Eren is about to wreck everything. I admit, Eren breaking down was a little predictable, but still pretty satisfying to see. Eren's just getting one step closer into becoming the series' villain. More so, Eren keeps on building more and more followers. I've actually seen some of you bringing up the idea of Eren being the one to lead the new Eldia. To be honest, I wasn't on board with giving someone who has no experience this leader position. But hey, sometimes reality is crazier than fiction. It's happening. The great Eren Yeager will lead his people to rule again. The question is this history repeating itself? And do let me know how you personally feel about this. As predicted, Eren has turned on his buddies. So, are you a fan of this new Eren or not? I've actually seen some strong dislike for this new Eren post timeskip, especially from hardcore fans of the previous angry Eren, which I'm seeing a bit of that in season 3 too. Personally, I'm definitely enjoying this new flavor added to the series. Right now it does feel like it's leading into that Code Geass finale. Is Eren really just gonna make himself into the world villain? And then later on it turns out that Eren was doing it all for them as he sacrifices himself. Let's see if Isayama is gonna go down that path. By the way, about Eren Yeager's whole escape, you can see him using the Titan crystal here. So, was this from the Attack Titan or the WarHammer Titan? I actually would have said the WarHammer Titan, but this whole crystal structure actually looks like what Eren created recently in the season 3 anime. Come on Isayama, you're just teasing and teasing us with the WarHammer bits here and there. Let's just go ahead and see it. I'm super pumped to see Eren's WarHammer Titan version. Anyway, as for the rest of the chapter, finally getting into something I've been asking for in the past Attack on Titan breakdowns. Can you get those two war buddies? Let's see Levi and Zeke chatting around a campfire. So, thank you so much for this, Isayama. Here, you now got the truth of what actually went down with Zeke visiting Koni's village. Freaking finally. I always had this strong suspicion that Zeke was conducting some sort of experiments, and perhaps scouting the island on his first visit. There was also speculation about how exactly Zeke transformed all of Koni's village. I mean, doing it one Titan syringe at a time wouldn't be Zeke's style. Did Zeke poison the water, perhaps? Turns out Zeke just gassed up the place. Right here, this is huge. I also like how Peek here is there in the background with that smirk. Then Peek continues into this shot. It almost seems like Peek has her eye on Zeke. Is it possible that Peek suspected something for a while? I could see that. Anyway, what's more interesting are the juicy Titan details shared by Zeke. And really, you haven't gotten some Titan info in a while. So right here, a confirmation that very little Titan juices are needed for a subject of Ymir to become a Titan. Of course, you saw this again recently from the Raw Titan in the season 3 anime. Turns out that you can inject Titan juices in multiple different forms, and still become a functioning mindless Titan. Come on Zeke, you gotta share the secrets. But more interesting is the details that Zeke shares about being marked by the coordinate. He then claims that the Titan powers are quote-unquote sent to. So, is this how Eren becomes the Attack Titan, or Annie becomes the female Titan? There's always some Titan teleportation happening. You got all this Titan flesh coming from somewhere. The question is from where? The whole method of transportation of course goes back to the path idea. Then, you got the third piece of Titan information. All of these Titans are connected to the Beast Titan. I always wondered if other Titan shifters could do something similar. In other words, if Eren or Annie were from the royal bloodline, could they make Titans similar to Zeke, which would allow those Titans to be commanded? Although here is a full disclaimer, keep in mind that this is a fan translation. I would usually say, gotta wait for the official translation, but even the official one has had its own share of issues lately, so gotta wait for the original Japanese release to double check this. By the way, also a bit of a side note, in this chapter Zeke explicitly mentions subject of Ymir instead of Eldians, which again I will check on the official Japanese version. Keep in mind that both of these terms have been muddy when it comes to exactly what was the requirement to becoming a Titan. And of course you had people argue for both sides. However, each time it was presented in the Attack on Titan story, both of these terms have been used interchangeably. Marley even used both of these terms in the same sentences more than a couple of times. From Zeke, this now feels like getting some clarification, which I got a feeling is what Isayama wanted. Eldians can become Titans, but specifically ones who are subjects of Ymir. As for Zeke's comments to Levi about not being popular with the ladies, oh, shots fired. Also funny cause you couldn't be even more wrong about that, Zeke. And please Isayama, give these two talking more screen time. Next up, the Beast Titan Furry. So it turns out Yelena spilled the secrets to Commander Pixies. Oh, you mean you met with Eren? You don't say. But what is this? Is Eren now confirmed to be the man in the hoodie? In other words, is Eren not confirmed to be the father now? Keep in mind that that was some random flashback from some drunk-ass military police officer. And at this point, I'm pretty unsure myself. I keep hearing about how Eren did or did not hook up with Historia. A couple of you still think that Reiner got to her first. Yeah, sure. Anyway, what the hell was up with Yelena? Why say that line? Oh, I just wanted Eren senpai to notice me. Is Yelena about to dump Zeke for this more colossal catch? The question is, how genuine is Yelena being? I didn't notice Yelena doing the whole Yelena I thing either. When she first got introduced, I mentioned the possibility of her having her own motivations outside of Zeke, and this really feels like it's hinting towards that. The question then becomes, how much of this is Pixies actually believing? Pixies is a veteran commander with decades of experience on him. So far, he's been a great judge as people's characters and actions in the past. Then you have that line from Pixies about needing to mix in some of the truth too, which tells you he's not really buying into what Yelena is selling 100%. At the same time, Yelena must know who she's up against. Right now, she's admitting this partial truth to get the strong commander ally on her side. For Pixies, he really just needs to keep on digging. Eventually, the whole truth will be revealed. When that happens, will Pixies switch over to her cause? After all, perhaps more than anyone in command of Eldia, Pixies is aware of their dire situation. Hey Hanji, how about stepping down and going back into Titan research? Next up, Hanji and Yoyankobon's tea time. By the way, this guy really needs a nickname. I'm really not surprised at all to find out that he was in the dark from Yelena's true plan, which I'm loving Hanji's method of checking. Right here, you have more and more coming to light about Yelena. Yelena used to be totally anti-Marley, up to the point of killing their soldiers without a second thought just to prove her loyalty about bringing Marley down. All of a sudden, she's now flipped that she's no longer there, but instead on the Paradis Island. I could actually agree with the general thought of Yelena perhaps wanting to atone for her past behavior. However, there's way too many red flags. Did you notice this Yelena parallel with another certain traitor? Recall someone who's killed off Eldian after Eldian just to prove their loyalty, and has now flipped to protect them in present day? I guess Yelena and Zeke share more in common than first appeared. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that Yelena's this double agent for Marley. There's just more and more evidence stacking up with her having her own agenda. Could Yelena eventually turn towards a third party? Perhaps the Asian clan? Perhaps someone else? Definitely post your thoughts below on Yelena. Anyway, as for Armin admiring the sleeping blonde girl, not creepy. I'm still betting that Armin's recent curiosity in Annie is partially fueled by the previous Colossal Titan memories. Oh, and I just love how Armin got flustered over almost nothing. I really wasn't doing anything, just filling up the Titan crystal. Annie, why are you so popular? You're always sleeping. Was this Isayama breaking the fourth wall? And Isayama, it would be real nice for her to wake up someday. As for Hitch here, is this the first return of Hitch post time skip? If Hitch is now going to become a major player, I'm now wishing they didn't cut some of her scenes in the season 3 anime. Next up, let's talk about Zachary, and I will get to that explosive surprise at the end. Now that Eren was gaining quite the following, sorry, that Armin, Mikasa and Eren meeting was not going to happen. Totally got denied by Zachary. What's interesting is that Zachary thought that Eren was being controlled by Zeke. I've actually seen some of you mention this too, the possibility of Zeke using the Beast Titan to control Eren. Personally, I was really doubting it until this chapter. You now know that the Titan gas could connect Eldians to the Beast Titan. It makes you wonder, how could this affect the Titan shifter, one who's not from the royal bloodline? Think about it, the Titan gas would be much easier to secretly get into Eren too. I'm not saying this is confirmed, but I think the chances are much higher now. And during Zachary's conversation, oh my lord, after 4 years later, even the shit machine returns. Oh, what is that? Oh, nothing, don't worry your pretty little heads. Hopefully that thing's been washed. Watch, I think this is gonna be censored in season 4. And talking about being censored, oh my god, you killed Zachary. And goddamn, Isayama stepping it up with the gore again. I really had to look away from Zachary's leftover remains, especially the face. So, who the hell is organizing going terrorist on the military's ass? It was of course the new Survey Corps, but was it under Yelena's orders or Phlox? Unfortunately, that bomb now destroyed the shit machine version 2.0. I'm honestly gonna miss both of these two. Anyway, as for the end of the chapter, hey Eren, looks like 2 can play this game. Peak has already made herself to the island undercover. And it really makes perfect sense. Peak was already here with Zeke once. Peak's car Titan enables her to get around more easily using that speed and smaller size. That being said, come on Peak, perhaps you could have gotten a haircut or some type of makeover. Anyway, there's a couple of things you should be wondering. How far away are Reiner and Porco? Is Peak about to hold out attacking and only there for scouting? Or is Peak about to be the one to launch the Marley counterattack on Paradise Island? I'm gonna go ahead and give you my quick prediction and hope. I could see another great Titan battle coming. You know, similar to the Titan showdown that took place in Marley. It's gonna be Levi, the Beast Titan, Eren's Tri-Titan, up against Peak, Reiner's Armor Titan, and the Jaws Titan. Somewhere in there, Mikasa and Armin's Colossal Titan are gonna come in. Which side will they choose, I wonder? So hey guys, really quickly, let me remind you to check my Patreon. So far we got in 20 guys, which is freaking awesome. It is a little early, but my buddy John is coming on the channel to help out. Just cause it's so much work, and I would like to get some sleep. So please consider becoming a supporter, and all supporters do get Discord access. You could definitely always find me on there. But anyway, let me hear from you now. Question of the day. How much are you loving or hating this so-called villain Eren Yeager? Do you like him more before or after the time skip? And what do you think about that Titan gas and Titan info revealed here? What else could be possible? Was anyone sad about seeing Zachary go? And which side is Yelena truly on? Anyway, definitely give a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, I put out 5+ anime videos here every week. My Attack on Titan Season 3 reviews will be back this weekend. Let's just hope there's no break coming. Also, my Founding Titan video is down, definitely don't miss it. So hit that bell notification and I'll see you guys later.